Sri Anandamayi Ma ki Jai. Question. Ma, when the mind is immersed in Samadhi, does one or does one not experience the supernormal chamatkar? If so, does this imply that one has deviated from the object of one's contemplation? And what is the real cause of this? Ma. Samadhi means samadhan, solution, completion. Question. Solution involves a question, whereas samadhi is a state in itself. Ma. This body does not use the language of the Shastras. It refers to ordinary things such as water, earth, air, and so forth when it speaks. Those who have understanding are able to comprehend this kind of broken and incomplete language. Samadhan signifies the perfect resolution of form, formlessness, manifested being, and non-being of everything. The solution of a problem is one thing, yet there is another kind of resolution where the possibility of problems and their solutions cannot occur. This is called Samadhi. Question. Quite so. Thus, there are two kinds of Samadhi, namely Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. Ma. The first signifies the resolution of cosmic existence into the one pure existence, Satta. And as for the second, there is even no such thing as existence. Question. No such thing as existence? What then is it? Ma. So long as thoughts and ideas, Sankalpa and Vikalpa persist, not even Savikalpa Samadhi can occur. Savikalpa Samadhi signifies awareness of existence. But when there is no question of existence, when there is no possibility of differentiating what is from what is not, can anything be expressed in words, however little? This is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Where is there room for the supernormal here? Question. The supernormal, in other words, matters that are beyond this world, alaukic, are not within the reach of ordinary intelligence, yet they can most certainly be grasped by the mind. If one accepts the mind as a fact, its own creations are themselves the subjects about which it thinks. There is, of course, something apart from the mind, Chit, which is said to be complete in itself. Anything before the vision of the mind in contemplation, other than that, is what is usually called chamatkar. Ma. Who perceives the chamatkar? Question. The mind. Ma. So then, if there is no mind, the supernormal cannot be perceived. Consequently, how can visions be seen in Nirvikalpa Samadhi? Question. My reason tells me that in both types of Samadhi, the mind must be present. According to the Shastras, in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the mind ceases to be. Of course, the gross mind does not persist. Yet, it will have to be admitted that the subtle mind remains in a state of latency. Otherwise, how could the experience be known afterwards? In other words, is it or is it not remembered when it is over? If it is, then it will no doubt have to be considered that the subtle mind still exists. Ma. Some say that a tiny particle of the mind remains. For if it did not, how could there be the manifestations of the body? But this body declares also this: if by the fire of illumination everything can be consumed, should not this tiny fragment be burnt up as well? Where experience occurs, the mind must of course exist. There can be no chamatkar without the mind. Question: if that small portion of the mind ceases to exist, how can the body continue? In which condition does the last trace of the mind disappear, while the prarabdha is still active or after it has been exhausted? Ma. What is your opinion, Pitaji? Of course, some maintain that in Samadhi the ego mind does not exist. However, this body says that if by supreme knowledge everything is burnt up, should it not have the power to consume the prarabdha as well? Question: if the prarabdha has been effaced, how can the body possibly persist? Ma. Do you mean by this that so long as the body endures, there must of necessity be some prarabdha left over, and therefore the mind must also have survived? Well, yes, if you accept as a reality the body in the usually accepted sense of the word, you will undoubtedly have to admit the existence of prarabdha, and from your point of view, the existence of the mind too. Body, sharir, means perpetual change, that which is ever moving away. But in the state where death may be said to be dead, can there still be any question of a body? Sri Anandamayi Ma ki Jai.